Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jersey and today I'm bringing you an airport build video, very sped up so you guys can see everything that we ended up doing today. So I'm in the island of Sarah B and I'm so excited to be here speaking with Sarah. We had a great time today. It was just fantastic. It was so much fun. We really had so much fun and planning this airport, talking about it and what exactly Sarah's vision was going to be for her town and how this airport could fit her style of building. Now, something that we need to talk about real quickly is what I'm here going to be doing is the design and the layout, all the decorations, every single aspect when it comes to the decoration and exactly how everything wants to be. Sarah B is actually going to do that and we'll be back to do a full tour of how she ended up doing the whole airport, decoration, plans, everything. And I'm excited to see it. Okay, so let's start talking about the build that we're doing right here. So we found this little island on her map, right? And we decided that this would be perfect to make the airport. Now, the airport that she had in mind, she didn't want nothing big like international size, nothing like that. She just wanted something that will fit in like in accounting, something like that, something small. So this kind of turned out a little more of the medium-sized style airport. We did added 3 sections for hot air balloons and we also added 3 sections for the helicopters, and we also had like a little driveway and all of that, a little parking, just to make everything feel like it belongs together. Now, like I mentioned, this video is going to be a little long. It is a speed build video and you guys are going to try to follow it as much as you can. Don't forget that you can pause the video. Don't forget that you can just slow it down on YouTube, and you can also take screenshots, right? So you can have it. Now, as you can see over here, one of the main things I needed to do is kind of imagine where we were going to put the exact airport, right? So we want to make sure that this is kind of centered, so we did the measurement and that's where I started. Now, I knew the airport was going to be elevated, so I didn't want the airport just to be flat on the ground. That was something that was already in my head. But I did want to make sure that I have like the driveway, the road, the crosswalk, all what's going to be in the front of the building airport being done first, just in case I needed to push the airport back. One of my biggest mistakes in the past was concentrating so much on the building itself and then trying to work the design that was going to be in the front. So in this specific type of build, we did the opposite, right? We're concentrating on making sure that we got the road layout that we want, that we got the driveway layout that we want, that we got the crosswalks where we want, and where it's going to be the little garden and all of that. And that's what you're seeing, all of it being done right here. And then this little road right here is going to be too wide right here. As you can see, this one is going to be leading across the river where we are going to work eventually on another build that's going to be connected to here. So that is going to be a very exciting thing to do. So if you want to follow along and don't miss any of those build videos that we're going to be doing in Sarah B's Island, please make sure to hit that subscribe and hit that like button so you don't miss anything. Because we're going to be doing a little build video series with Sarah B, and I am so excited because there are some cool ideas that we want to do, and it's a great way for you guys to learn, to follow, and to kind of get an idea so you can do it also on your island. All right, so as you can see right over here, I am imagining where the sidewalks are gonna go. Now, I did have an idea in mind. I did have a plan in mind when I came over here. I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do. It was just kind of making sure that we have the right width and distance. Now, one of the things that I always want to make sure when you see me going back into the front like of the build or the back of the build is I want to make sure that I'm able to see the marks that I did for the airport. So when you're coming into this section and you want someone to see everything that you're doing, I want to be able to see the building all the way from the driver. So that's why sometimes it's important to put those marks so you don't miss it. So you're working on that, because to me that is important. If you're working hard on a build, you want to make sure that you can see it. And as you can see right here, I am testing that distance out, that I can see the square that I did where technically the airport building is gonna be, and I can still see it. So we are in an awesome distance. Everything is coming according to plan, and we get excited. Now over here, I was talking with a lot of ideas. You can see me jumping around, talking with Sarah, trying to figure out exactly if she is happy with the length, because I'm over here, I want to make sure that she's happy with the design that this is gonna be, that is not too big as of this moment. And Sarah B likes the way it was coming out, so that makes me very, very happy. As you can see over here, we are kinda now gonna finish the row. We're gonna put the sidewalk on the outside, and this is a very fun build. When it comes to designing airports, there's many different ways you can design an airport, and that's where you can have a lot of fun when it comes to airport designing. Is you want to make a long entryway, you can make a short one, you can make it high, you can make it low, you can make it slope. You can just have one road just leading straight to the airport. It can just be the building and a little dirt road, and that's all you need, just depending on the style, right? If you want to think about country airport, you want to think about city airport, town airport, international airport, there are so many styles that you want to do. So this is a little bit mixed in between. I did get my ideas from Google, looking at an actual airports and getting a design that will fit the vision and something that will fit in Dinkum. And as you can see over here, this is something that we're starting to do now. Something that to me I love doing when it comes to the road is doing kind of the crosswalks. Now the crosswalks are a little bit tricky sometimes. When I did my calculations here, I wanted my roads to be to go in the direction of 4, because we're gonna do some pergola design on the front. But by doing it 4, that means that my crosswalks are not gonna come out correctly, as you can see, and they're not gonna look good. So I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work out. So I kept thinking, okay, how can I fix this? So we were thinking to do the yellow. I seen stuff like that. At the end, we didn't like the yellow too much. Sarah B wasn't happy with the yellow either. So we worked at it quite a bit until we got a pattern. So we decided to do like a little zigzag pattern. Again, when it comes to crosswalk, you don't have to have it. You can put cement. You can do whichever way you want. You can just keep it. If you want it just black, you don't have to have a crosswalk. It's gonna be really up to you what you want to do when it comes to crosswalk. I like doing them. I think it gives it a little bit a cool feeling. But as you can see, right now we left it, but at the moment we are definitely going to change the crosswalk. It's not something that we like. Now this is something that I really like, something that being inspired by other creators, other builders, like you guys are watching this video. I done runways like this, and I love it. And I saw more airports having this kind of like a roofing system in front of the building, and then I thought that I think that is so cool every time we see it. So that's something that I really wanted to have when it came to this airport. I make sure Sarah liked it. She liked the idea. So as you can see, we're just placing them here in a specific sequence. Now, as you can notice, to have the sequence that I wanted, it's gonna go it takes over a little more. So you see Sarah in the background over there already extending the build. Now Sarah was a great help. I just want to say that this build, we couldn't have done it in one day. Now real time, it was almost close to 4 hours took us to do this build. You're watching this in a very condensed fast version of 40 something minutes. So yeah, but Sarah was an amazing helper. Every time I did something and I was ready to go, she was able to duplicate the work so I can start working in an other area, and that was fantastic. And Sarah, thank you, truly, thank you so much. Okay, as you can see here comes to the point that me and Sarah were talking, and we don't like the side with the crosswalk. It just needs something different. The yellow wasn't working. We tried solid white. You could go with solid white. It's not too bad. Again, it's not something that we were liking. And then we kind of did this little pattern over here, a little like checkerboard, and that was something that I was like, okay, this has a little promise. But again, the yellow wasn't working, and so what we decided was we gave it a try with the black. Also, we gave it a try with the cement. And Sarah liked the black with the cobblestone, and that actually worked out a little bit better, and it kind of made it look kind of cool, like a little extra design, just a little extra design. And that's what you're gonna see in just a moment. But yeah, but as you can see, Sarah is expanding on the side. We got the road system, we're getting the roof, and all of this, like I said, was very important to get done in the beginning. Because if we get it done in the beginning, then once we start working on the actual building of the airport, then we don't have to do any compromising, right? And that was a mistake that I used to do in the past, is right away work in the main building and then nothing could fit in the front, and then you have to do compromises. Now, there's nothing wrong on working on the main part of the building first if that's your main priority, because you truly don't have any plan for the front. Then that's completely fine. You work on the building and then you work with the space that is given for the front or in the back or on the side. But I knew I had this big plan for the front, so I want to make sure that that fit before I added the building. Okay, so as you can see, the checkerboard pattern kind of worked right over here. You see Sarah doing it on the other side over there, and we actually really liked it a lot. So now that we were happy with the design that we had in the front, we had the row, everything goes in a circle motion over here, and then leads back out where the older town and section is gonna be. Now we can start working on the airport. And of course, something that I like in the airports that I usually do, you know, if I have the freedom to do it, I like them a little elevated. It makes the small airport building look a little more bigger and more functional. Now, there's nothing wrong to having a small airport or just having just the actual Dinkum airport be the main building. Many people have done amazing things with it, but you know, we wanted to do something and a little bit more bigger. That was the idea of this one. So we are gonna create a little fake building that the airport of Dinkum is gonna sit on top, but it's not gonna sit right in the middle. It's gonna go a little bit towards the side. That's gonna give it a little look. And then on the other side, where it's gonna be empty, in that section is where there's gonna be like a little ticket booth area for the hot air balloon. Now that's something Sarah B is gonna be working on the side when it comes to decorations, and I can't wait to see how that turns out when she does it. All right, so as you can see, we're gonna be extending the building over here. We're gonna be working, doing a lot of dirt printing. We're gonna make a little in the front. We're gonna make the edges on the side over here. And once I got things situated, you're gonna see Sarah jumping in. She's gonna be helping out, and then I'm gonna start working on the front because she's gonna be finishing filling up the actual dirt on the side. Now, if you're duplicating this, once again, just a little disclaimer, you're gonna see it in a little bit, but we are gonna go one level higher because the way the pergola was working, and when we're gonna put the airport title, airport with the name of the island, it was gonna be covered with the pergola, so we didn't like that, so we're actually gonna have to raise it. So if you get to this point right here and you see me they're printing to this level, then just go ahead and do it one more higher. Trust me, it will save you a little bit of step if you are trying to duplicate this right now. So we're gonna make some columns. We're gonna be making some fake windows. We're gonna put some flower boxes. We're gonna put all of that together just to make this area feel good, work together, and have this nice building. Now, if you feel like the building or the airport building is a little too close to the main road, you know, just push it back. You know, you have a lot of freedom when you're following this build. Don't forget that. If you feel like you need a little more space from the pergola to the building, go ahead and do that. You know, make sure that you have the distance that you want from the pergola for the main building. And as you can see, we're gonna be doing a lot of dirt printing over here. There is Sarah looking all nice, all cute with the little froggy costume. And we're just gonna do, look at that, a lot of dirt printing. But you know, building airports is fun. I think everybody truly enjoys this type of builds. It truly brings something special into your island, and I think a lot of people can always have a lot of fun creating airports. And like I said, you can create any type of airport you want. Whatever your imagination gives you, go ahead and create it. Now, something that I wanted to do on the side over here is I was thinking just to do it one go in one straight. Didn't like how they look. It's because the way it was so close to the pergola. So what I decided is just to scale it down on the side of the stairs and then create this column effect over here. Now this column effect over here, we're gonna move it a little one more closer to the front. That's gonna come up a little later, and I wanted to finish with one column at the end of the building, so that means that we're stretching the building one more into the side. So that is also something that you gotta keep a mind on. So again, we're gonna go one more into the side. So we did one side, and once I do these columns, we're gonna do it again on the other side. Now, if this building is too big, again, just make it a little smaller. You know, we extended it one more, but if you need it to be three shorter, just depending on the space that you have on your island, just make sure. Now, one of the reasons that we got it this big is because we're gonna have 3 extended platforms using bridges to lead to the hot air balloons, and that's why it needs to be this wide. When you see this And if this is something that is, you just want the building itself, and you're not gonna have the hot air balloons, that you don't need to have it this wide again. All right, so as you can see, I'm gonna start working on the hot air balloon platforms. I'm kind of matching them, as you can see, with the pergola, just to kind of keep the squares all the same. I think this is something that I really like, and I think it's gonna help out just to keep everything a little bit more dimensional, a little more proportional, a little bit of symmetry, even if you don't see it, but it's still there. And as you can see, we got 1, we got 2, and we're gonna make 3, and that's just why we got a really nice little section here, and everything matches the pergola. We match the back. Now we're gonna do the sidewalks on the back, because then we're gonna have rows, and then we're gonna put the bridges, and where there's gonna be the stations for the hot air balloons. And like I mentioned, the hot air balloons are going to be like a separate station. We're going to have a bridge that's going to connect it to them, but then we want to have this row that's going to go around the building. And it's just something, you know, I just feel like it's just going to look cool. It's going to feel great. Now, a little bit of this idea, we did it a while back on one of the live stream, and we went to one of our members' island, and we did a very similar idea to this. And now we're just expanding on that idea and add it to here. So, and that's the great thing about when you do this type of builds, you do it multiple times. You know, you carry ideas from another place, you carry it in here, and then you continue to push that idea into another combination of ideas, and then you get this whole new look and design. And I really like it. I really like it a lot. Okay, so here we go. This is like one of the moments that I've been waiting for, is to add this bridge, because I want to make sure everything is working, everything looks good, and everything's gonna work according to plan. I did my sidewalk, I tested the other sidewalk, I got the 4 lengths where the cobblestone's gonna go. I put the pergola, because that is where the hot air balloon is gonna come down and sit on top, as right there. And then we're gonna cover the pergola around it. Now, I wanted to cover the pergola around it with dirt, and we're gonna put brick on it, because it's just gonna make it feel like a very more solid structure. That's something that I wanted. Now, if you like the idea of having the pergola just open by itself, or maybe you want to use vines, maybe you want to use ladders or something just to make it feel different, feel free to do it, right? It's gonna be up to you. But I wanted to make it feel like a little more solid of a structure, so that's why we're gonna be doing covering it around with dirt, and then doing brick on top of them, and then you're gonna add lights on the very top, so it looks nice and great and illuminated. But right now we're gonna add the row. We want to make sure that we have everything here. There's gonna be a little design on the little side of the building. We're gonna have like this dual sidewalk, and on those you can plant trees or bushes. Now, something that me and Sarah talk about, because we're gonna keep a little of that realism, we're not gonna do any like real trees inside the fencing, inside the airport, outside the fence that we're gonna add later. We are gonna put trees on the outside if Sarah wants to put on the inside for safety. You know, we wanna keep that realism. We're not gonna put any trees. But as you can see, we step back, we're gonna look at it. We always wanna make sure that you always stepping back, because it's always important to make sure that everything is looking proportional, everything is looking the right distance, the right viewing. All of that is always so important. So I always recommend you walk yourself back, see the build that you're doing, and then keep going with your build. Trust me, it's gonna save you a lot of time and a lot of effort, because you may be able to catch things a lot earlier. So as you can see, we did the first test run on the platform back there, so I knew we got the right distance. So now I gotta finish working on the front of the building, because we want to make sure that it's working great. So we're doing our first test. We're adding the brick, we're adding the stuff that we need here, and we haven't even come to the point that we need to raise it one more time. But I want to work on these columns. I want to make sure that they look good, that they had that right feel that we need. And so far everything's looking good. I know I needed something to do in between the middles. We're going to add the cobblestone for the fake windows, but you know, as you can see, everything is working really great. So we're gonna go ahead and sleep. We're gonna go to the next day and make sure to continue to work and make sure, because you know, we need light to make sure everything looks good. But as you can see, the whole building is coming out great, right? The whole airport is slowly coming together. But now comes to the important part, right? We need to get this section done, and we need to work on all of this right over here. Okay, so as you can see, we're gonna dirt print right over here. and we're gonna add everything that I mentioned earlier. Now, something that you're gonna see me do that I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of wanted to have these doors, but then I remember, oh yeah, we need the bridge to land in these pieces of dirt over here. So we actually had to end up filling it up. But at the end, it worked out because we left just doors on the back side, and that makes it feel a little bit like a little garage for the youths. And we ended up using that later on, and it looks really cool. So I really like, even though over here I'm doing this mistake, is actually worked out great because we ended up keeping the back of the backside opening. But you know, mistakes happen, and this is one of them, you know, right over here. And this is when right there I was realizing, oh no, I need to put the bridge, you know. So we land the balloon. We are going to take out this, we gotta add again all of this, and then we can add the bridge. And now we got the balloon, we're gonna add the bridge, and we're gonna have everything connected together. And that's, you know, and this is what I wanted like a platform that looks very solid, right, together. Now the platform, again, you can put wood, you can put iron, you can put cement, just make it whatever you feel like is gonna work best with your building that you're working on. Now over here we're working on the little fake windows over here, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted on the top, if I wanted this, or if I wanted hardwood, or if I wanted flower, just to kind of cover that area. But then slowly the idea came that, oh yeah, what I want to do here is I wanted to add the name of the airport. And this is when then slowly we realized that we need to raise it by one. So like I said, I didn't like this, but over here, seeing all of this, I noticed when we step back, I think it's gonna happen very soon, you can see that the pergola is just covering everything. It's just not gonna work great. The pergola, see how far you go back, it's kind of covering that little section. And especially once we got the idea that we want to put the airport name, that is something that it's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to raise it. And once we got ready to do that, Sarah was right on it. You're gonna see her in the background. Look at her. Look at Sarah go, raising everything up. And that's what I'm doing right now myself, just covering everything here, filling everything up, and then we're gonna push the columns one forward again, and then we're gonna cut open, and then we're gonna do the lettering for the airport. And that is slowly gonna build that front that we want, you know, just everything just coming together slowly. And like I said, one of the things when you're building and you need to think about, you know, in big projects like this is, you know, take your time, patience, mistakes happen, error, trial and error. Don't compromise on the build that you want to do, you know. Sometimes it takes a little more of an effort, and it's great to have the effort and to make it happen. I had a lot of great help, you know, like I mentioned, I couldn't get all of this done the way we got it done if it wasn't because Sarah was helping me so much today, duplicating, doing all this extra there printing, you know. It is amazing. One of the great things about Dinkum is that you get to play with friends, you get to play with people that you want to be friends with, that you want to have fun with. And you know, Dinkum is such a great community that a lot of people find new friendships, and it's great to do this, right? And I would always recommend, if you can, you know, play with friends, because it helps so much. It makes such a big difference. Trust me, it's such a big difference when you have someone that you can hang out with, that you can play with. It's great. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is the section that we finally elevated. I'm making the mark where the fencing is gonna go, and then I remember, oh yeah, I need to leave the space where we're gonna put the airport name. So I'm cutting all of this down right here. As you guys can see, we're gonna put the fake windows, and then on top of that, that's where the letters are gonna go. On where the pillars are gonna go, the pillars where there you see the brick right now, there we're gonna put some of the floor lights, and that is what's gonna illuminate the name at night for the airport. But as you can see, now we're doing the flower boxes, and you see, slowly, instead of just compromising with what we wanted, we actually ended up having something that looks even better, right? It's going to be a little higher and everything is just working together. We add in the fence, and again, like I always say, you know, go back and forth. Make sure that you check the way it's looking. Here we go. We got the airport right over here. I'm going back. I want to make sure that I can see it on top of the pergola, and it's working perfect. And you see the balloon in the back. So the whole build is coming out great. And it's like, it's such a relief when you know things are working the way you want to. And now I'm counting over here. I'm letting Sarah know how many spaces, because she's going to do the rest of the name for the airport. Now, when it comes to the top part of the platform over here, we gotta do quite a few things. We gotta mark where we're gonna put the building, how it's gonna go with the walkway around it. I decided to go with two width on the walkway on the very top. We're gonna continue to use the cement tile. Now, don't forget that in the walkways, all that stuff, it's gonna be up to you what you want to do as your walkway. I'm making the building with brick just because it's gonna match the airport, but you don't have to do that, right? Find the combination, the colors, the tiles, the flooring, the flower, everything that you would like, and that's what you want to do. Well, as you can see, I'm making the outline of the building with brick first, and then I'm adding the walkway that I wanted to do it. I decided to go two. At first I was gonna go with just the one around, but I decided to go with two. It will give a little more space and a little better way to decorate, right? Because we want to be able to decorate the top. So I figure giving two spaces for the walkways on the top is going to be better. That way we can put chairs, benches, or anything that Sarah decides that she wants to put up here, since she wants to do all the decoration herself. So that is gonna be amazing to see, and I can't wait to see it. So right here, I'm marking where the airport is gonna land. The airport is gonna be 6x5. So I wanna make sure, put the place, because Sarah now is gonna come and she's gonna place it down. We're gonna sleep, we're gonna go to the next day, and this is the moment of truth that is really, can this really look like an airport building? This is the moment. And there it is, and I love it. I really love it. I just love the way this looks. I like the fence. I like the way everything's coming out together. And guys, this is the airport building, and I like it. You come to the top. We're gonna finish putting all the brick. We're gonna be finishing all the fencing, and it just is coming together so nicely. Now, one of the things that we're gonna do now is kind of finish filling up this area. We're gonna finish putting the fencing and doing the little divisions over here, a little sideway. We're gonna put a little grass or maybe some greenery alongside the building, fencing the rest over here, as you guys can see. Now, this platform on the top is where, you know, they're gonna do that little ticket booth area. I can't wait to see how Sarah B is gonna decorate all this. I think it's gonna be amazing. But now, something that you can see over here that we did is we actually gonna put some steps going down into the little bridge system. Now, something that I always talk about, you know, you can leave it flat, you can leave it the same level, but sometimes having those little dips, ups and down, just little dimension, can really go a long way to give a little more character, a little more dimension into your build. So this is something that I really like to do over here, because the building is just a little bit taller, but you go down the steps and then you encounter the bridge, and the bridge is still feeling the same height as the gates. So it's a really cool design concept, because you're keeping the bridge the same height as the fence, but you actually gotta go down to go into the bridge. So that I think design-wise, it looks really cool. All right, so something that we did, we added all this grass. We really wanted to start seeing how the field and the airport, taking away all that brown, because it was looking so brown. And we figure, okay, we need to add the grass so we can see how, if we like the way the building, the brick, the pergolas with all the brown is working together. And we liked it. You know, Sarah liked it, I liked it. You start seeing the balloons in the back. Sarah is duplicating all those platforms, adding all the bridges for all the balloons. And what I'm doing over here is working on a little arrangement over here. Now, this is more like a small, medium-sized airport. This is not international, so we don't need this grand entrance. We just need something that kind of stands out a little bit more. It's like, wow, look at this looks really good. So what we're gonna do, the bottle and the wattle bushes right over here, the red and the yellow. So we're gonna put red on the top, as you can see. and all the flooring is gonna be red, and in front of the elevator pieces, and yellow on the one is going around in the middle section, right? And this will give you this beautiful formation. Now after we grow this formation, then we're going to use the rock one, and what we're going to do is this little rock border around it, and it's going to look really, really nice. And that's something that I personally like to do a lot. It's simple, but it's nice and elegant, but it's not something that it goes like all, it's not over the top, right? It's not just crazy over the top. Now, and one of the reasons I like the wattle and the bottle brushes is because they're kind of full, so you don't see in between the dirt. So I like that a lot. So as you can see over here, we're doing the rock formation, and what you're gonna do as you go around, you know, you put the first one and you go to that second out. So the one that I'm taking out is the one that's the outside, and we're gonna bring that to be low in the level, and it's gonna give you this beautiful ring design that you're gonna have a circle low in the bottom, and then the high one on the top. Or the high one on the top is kind of hidden, and with the bushes it just looks fantastic, and it's one of my favorite things. All right, so now we finally get to the point that we gotta start working on the helipads. So I gotta do the dimensions again. We're gonna do the sidewalks. We're doing 4 width of the roads. That is gonna be important. So you're gonna add your row. So on the back over here, we decided to go double because we're gonna put some like signs inside all these spaces where you see the pergola. Inside those pergolas, where underneath the hot air balloon, we're gonna park some utes. So that's gonna be great. So what we're gonna try to do is match the entrance for the helipad to where the door that you see where the utes and the hot air balloon, that is where we're gonna match, and it's gonna look good. You know, everything, it just keeps going with that beautiful symmetry. So we're doing 2 over here, we're gonna go 2 again and 2 again. So we should have 3 helipads that we're gonna do. You see Sarah over there putting the utes inside underneath the hot air balloons, and we added the signage right over there. So I think that is going to look great. So over here, as you can see, we're doing the platform. Now the platform is really simple. It's not overly complicated. When it comes to the helipads, we're doing a small realistic design here. So it's just, we're going to do a H. Just we're going to put a little H in the middle, make it all black, do a brick border around it, and then we're going to put some fencing and light up the H so it looks nice and bright and really nice. Now the edge can be any color that you want. I went with yellow because I saw a lot of pictures that had this with yellow. You can also go with white. That's a very traditional one as well when it comes to helipads. Or you can go neon or any color that you want. Truly, you can make H just to go with the same color as the helicopter that you're gonna have there. You have so many options when it comes to decorate this and design it that I think truly have fun with it. Have fun with it. But look at this. This is just nice and simple. Is I love this design a lot, and I like that we're keeping it right behind the hot air balloon, so everything it flows completely, right? It's working. It's matching the pergolas in the front. Then you go to the air balloon, and then again the 2 steps are matching the door. Again, it's something that I personally like. That is. It's just me. I just like when things work like this, and it looks really great. So we're gonna put some floor lights over here. We started with one particular floor light design, but then we changed it by the 3rd one, and then we duplicated the floor light that we did on the 3rd one on this one because it made the edge look a lot brighter, and I think it's really cool just to see, especially at night. So look at Sarah go. Sarah is duplicating everything over here, spreading everything out. So it was such a great teamwork, by the way, guys. I really gotta emphasize that if you made it to this point, first of all, let's give a big old round of applause to Sarah. Sarah, thank you so much for all the help once again. Amazing, hardworking, just so excited the whole time as we were talking and hanging out and building together. It was such a great experience again, guys. You just can't understand how amazing it was to hang out with Sarah. But go ahead down there, give it a big applause to Sarah right there. But as you can see, you see how much brighter the edge is over here. So that's what we did. Basically, we're just gonna put white flooring on the edges, and then on the corners we're gonna do the red one, and it's just gonna look really nice. And now we get to the last portion, that is the parking lot. Now again, something that I try to tell a lot of people when they ask me concept design is, a lot of times for me is to tell a story? Can my build tell the story of what's going on in here? You know, and why do I'm putting a parking lot? Well, the parking lot is because we do have this hot air balloon ticket area, you know, so people want to come in and park. So they park over here. Now, all the roads that we did that are attaching to this whole section here makes sense because they're leading all the way to the parking lot. So, you know, when you do stories like that, it really helps put things together. Now, this is a very simple parking lot, you know, not too complicated. Just one side is going to be parking and the other one is just to be able to get in. So as you can see, we're going to park the first ute. Usually it takes 2 squares of the black, and then we're going to do the line of the white line right over here. I do like to make the white line kind of the length of the vehicle. It just looks nice and neat. And then we're going to do 2 spacing and then white line, 2 spacing, white line. Now when it comes to the white line, you can make it yellow, you can make it white, just depending which one you want. You can do the white tile or the marble. I went with the marble. I like more a little the marble compared with the white tile myself, and the white marble has like this gray sections on it, so it makes it sometimes feel like, if you know, when you go to a parking lot, you see the lines and there's rubber and there's black and they're dirty, so it kind of reminds me of that. So I kind of like marble because of that reason as well. Something that I really wanted to do is after we did the mark, right, we're gonna take out the cement tiles, we're gonna elevate this and raise it up by 1, so it kind of makes it feel a little more secluded. Now you can go 2 if you wanted to go higher. Just imagine the parking lot that you want. Now one of the reasons that I just went 1 instead of 2, because we're gonna put a fence, the same fence that we're putting on top of the airport, the fence that we did around the helipad, we're gonna put it in here, and that is gonna just match really well and keep everything in harmony and in just playing. Again, this is not supposed to be a fancy airport, not too complicated airport. This is supposed to be a small town airport that, even though it came out more like a medium-sized airport, it's not supposed to be like this, like international, super elaborate and super elegant style design. More a little more toned down, more something that you'll see in a small town, you know, that they may have 1, 2, 3 planes, you know, something like that. That's the idea. Those are the pictures that I looked at and we're looking forward. Now over here I did this little lily-pilly wall just to have a little separation between the parking lot and the helicopter, so you kind of don't see when you grow them. It kind of blocks the view from the parking lot. Something that I did talk with Sarah just to make sure, because that was something that I did add in that I need. Normally Sarah's gonna handle all the decoration, but I kind of wanted so she understand why I did it, you know, but it could be gone the next time that we come over here and see how Sarah did this. I can't wait to do that tour. So if you made it to this end of the video, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, so you don't miss the tour of the final way all this is gonna look, because we're gonna come back and see it, you know, and all the projects that we're gonna do with Sarah, because I'm really excited to come back and to keep working on the other projects that we're gonna do in this little build series on Sarah's Island. I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's such a great opportunity to work with Sarah once again, and to make all of this possible. And I'm closing out with the team fence over here. I left 1 spacing just to, you know, put some grass. Maybe she wants to put something else back there. We just left a little bit of spacing, but all of that can be moved at any time. And as you can see, we're gonna do our final walk. We're gonna do a final walk the way the layout. We added some lamps, we added some phone booths, some benches, just to give it a little bit extra look on the idea of how it can look. But again, all of this will change depending how Sarah will decorate it. But I love the design. I love the way this one came out. I think I know Sarah was really happy because this is kind of will fit her town atmosphere, and that's always what is important. I love that from far away you start seeing the balloons, you see the airport. We're gonna go underneath here and then you go up. I can't wait to see how she does the seating area, the decorations, the ticket booth, all that stuff, the mannequins to make this feel come alive. I love that you cross the bridge, but you got a road underneath it, you can see through it. I love these bridges. The new bridges are fantastic. Fantastic. It's just, they're so good. And then when you come over here, you go around, then you get to see the helipad section. You got your parking lot right over here. You got garage 1, garage 2, garage 3. So I think, you know, it just gives you that little feel, a little more business in the airport in the back. And then you walk all your helipads. You can walk right through the middle through the little gates. everything came out together so nicely. And again, I just can't believe we did this in all in one day. I mean, it took almost 4 hours in real time, but it was fantastic and I had such a great time. So guys, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you all on the next one. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.